Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simon here with another episode of The Bad Batch. This is episode number 10, and I've realised that I have a little bit of a conundrum. It's not a bad conundrum, but next week, The Mandalorian returns on the 1st of March, the exact same day that The Bad Batch releases. So we've got two Star Wars series releasing at the exact same time on the exact same day. Now, obviously, I think The Mandalorian's going to take precedence here because, well, for one, it's the longer of the series, and it's the one that I kind of want to see a little bit more. As much as, I don't want to diss The Bad Batch, it's undeniable that, I think everyone's a bit more excited for The Mandalorian than they are The Bad Batch. And that's going to be the case for the whole run, I think, because we've still got another 8 episodes left after this one of The Bad Batch, and there's going to be, if I'm right in thinking, 8 episodes of The Mandalorian. So I'm going to have to do some time management, maybe do some holidays from work, but I'm not complaining because, it's Star Wars Wednesdays are going to be great, unless there's going to be some kind of schedule change that I'm just not aware of, because it does seem a bit weird they choose to release the two at the exact same time on the exact same day. So I'll have to either read up on the exact timings, or if anyone in the comments can confirm, that would be very much appreciated. Now you can see here Zuko is being extremely attention-seeking this morning, as he is most mornings. He just wants cuddles, don't you, buddy? Eh? You just want cuddles? Eh? And then as soon as I go to cuddle him, he backs off. But yes, here we are with episode number 10. And the Bad Batch have missed, have lost, or they haven't lost, it's been stolen. The Marauder has been stolen. And, we saw in last week's episode that there was, again, more character development of, Tech, as we saw the relationship between him and Omega, kind of strengthen once again. Because as they were trapped in the mine, it was a case of him confirming essentially that, although he feels things differently, it doesn't mean that, he doesn't feel them. In a way, maybe, trying to confirm that he has some kind of a neurodiversity, which, again, representation is never a bad thing. And it would make sense because Tech, you often do find that intelligent people think differently, they're structured differently, and again, it's just nice to see people be different, and that's what makes the Bad Batch great, is that they're all kind of different in their own ways. And one of the interesting things that I've been doing recently is going back and watching the original Bad Batch arc in season 7 of the Clone Wars, and there is a little bit of difference between the characters. I mean, you've got to remember that was recorded many years ago, probably before the Disney takeover. Maybe just after the Disney takeover, because all of the voices were done when there was a plan to have a season 7. So they do sound a little different, they do act a little different than the people they are now. But it's again, they've been a work in progress. So it's just interesting going back and seeing these things. But yeah, we're going to go forward here, see how they managed to escape the planet, how they managed to get the Marauder back, and, what happens eventually with Sid. I don't think we're going to see any more. I think Crosshair's not going to appear until episode 12, so that's a bit of a shame, because, I really wanted this season to focus on him as well. But so far, we've only got a couple of kind of dedicated episodes so far. But, we'll pick up and see what happens there. Anyway, I'm going to jump in and watch this. I'm going to try and get Zuko to chill out and not take up so much of the camera. You can see just how relaxed he is by his eyes. He's just like, yeah, first thing in the morning, I'm getting my scritches and all is good in the world. So anyway, we're going to jump into the reaction. Oh, again. Why is it set to German automatically?
Well, I got hung.
What does Disney think I am?
Not the ship. I mean, we can track Gonki.
Oh,
Oh.
an ingenious idea. Try doing a trace on his binary reference code.
On it.
That's a thing?
Don't get your hopes up, kid.
You just trace a droid? Why didn't the Empire think of that in A New Hope? They would have had such an easier time of it. I'm amazed that this 13-year-old can easily pilot a Republic warship. Oh, okay. Is food something that's quite sparse here? Droids?
I swiped it from some amateurs poking around the old mines in the Northern Territory.
I mean, one look and they should be able to tell it was former Republic.
Looks specially modified. We'll have to see, Benny. We'll have to see. But you did good.
I like this guy, he's creepy. He's creepy.
Show of my gratitude. You can keep the droid.
That's a Republic water can. Gonk, gonk, gonk.
I'm getting a reading.
That's our defective power droid.
Oh dear.
Now where's our ship?
Oh, see, the thing is...
He's gonna run. Yep.
Oi, Gonky. You okay?
What do you care how that thing's doing?
He's a member of the
Pick up
crew.
battery.
Not to us.
But if you get caught, you don't know me.
I mean, they don't. That's the whole point. They don't know you. They only know that you stole their ship.
Mako took over when they were forced out.
Stealing's not a skill.
It is when you're good at it.
I mean, he's not wrong. It might not be right, but it is a skill. Ask any rogue in D&D.
Tougher strongholds than that. How big of a window is there?
30 seconds. Oh, 60.
Plenty of time.
Question is, how badly raided has the Marauder been?
Good luck.
Been a few hours now.
You can go once we have our ship back.
We don't do that.
This is not good. This is not good.
Uh-oh. Good reflexes. That droid's gonna get toasted, though. That's the problem. I like the nefarious music. Really setting this place up to be like a Mustafar kind of place. And you know, kids mining. That's totally...
Conditions of this mine
Yeah.
are less than ideal. The hyperdrive has been removed.
Oh, God.
You didn't ask me what condition it'd be in. How's that my fault? Relax. It's not
He's just a
good
grunting
fix.
machine.
It better not be.
Not looking like that.
Yeah, I don't imagine a weapon is going to be very, Of course, he's eating like Denethor, whilst those around him starve. Jesus Christ, take a breath between bites, you know? See? Being a thief,
It's a skill.
it's a skill.
Great. Can we go now?
Not yet.
I wrote the script.
I want to hear the tally. You've got to be kidding me.
I think it's rigged. Here's your bowl of cereal.
As for the rest of you,
How's it looking?
I can get most of the systems back online easily enough. But we are not going
I mean, I'm surprised there hasn't been a rebellion, considering that weapons can't be used. Like, other than the batons that the droids have, you'd think that they could be able to overpower them.
Right.
No.
get the shield code and get back here.
Oh no, he's going to betray her. That's how he's going to impress Mako.
We're bound to reach better Ipsium soon.
Nope.
Besides, I can't leave. This is my home.
There's a mine about 100 kilometers away
I get it.
with better
Our ship
Ipsium.
is our home. You can have my rations.
What?
And he's immediately going to regret that decision
For helping.
to betray her.
Most of this data is just Mako's profit reports. I thought
Ooh.
you said that Ipsium he is degraded.
Oh. This is where
This.
he gets exposed.
See that?
Look at that shark going right up.
That's my boy. The title of top earner is definitely in your future.
Oh dear. The title of top rat is in your future.
We don't miss.
Yeah.
I believe you, but I think you'll reconsider.
Oh no.
Trespassing and attempted theft. 10 years in the mine sounds like
He's gonna fall into the mine. You watch.
if you survive that long. Take it below.
They're gonna turn on him.
And I have the proof right here.
Let me see that.
Oh, now his favourite.
Don't forget that.
They're just droids with batons. You can easily overpower them. And flip. Monkey flip. There you go. Good catch.
Grab my hand.
Okay. He's going to try and pull him over. What a little shit. Yeah, he deserved that. Even when he's like in a life and death situation, he still tries to betray him.
It's not so bad. And with Mako gone, we'll all be getting an equal share of the profits now.
With capitalism gone, we'll all be getting an equal share of the profits. You see the allegory?
For showing me the truth.
I thought there was almost going to be the beginnings of the rebellion theme there. Okay, so a good simple story, a story of, you know, one person with way too much power abusing and taking advantage of those less fortunate, and you know, a group of do-gooders, although in this situation they had kind of been wronged, but nevertheless they were still do-gooders. Coming along and, you know, saving the day, getting rid of the big bad guy, and, you know, freeing the workers from their oppression. It's a story we've probably seen time and time again, you know, not just in the Clone Wars, but in, you know, in other forms of media. I think it's like, it is the quintessential good guy versus bad guy kind of story. You know, I think in most, it crops up a lot in like post-apocalyptic stories, you know, where people gather around one powerful person who has control of all the resources, and then someone comes along and shows the people that they're being, you know, manipulated, and they all turn on them, and, you know, they are all freed. So yeah, it's a very simple but effective story, and, you know, they're right, it is very similar to what the Empire has done to the galaxy, just on a, you know, a much larger scale than this. And, you know, in a way it is an allegory, and I know some people will roll their eyes, and they'll be like, oh, why is Star Wars political? But in some ways, it is a good allegory for capitalism. One person at the top hoards the wealth, controls those lower down, giving them little bits to feed off of to try and keep them content, whilst they take the lion's share without having done any of the work, you know. And it's only when, you know, they're freed from that everything gets spread out more equally. And yes, it's an idealized version of it. It's a much simpler version of it, but it is still an allegory for that, you know, scenario, for what exactly is wrong, you know, with the capitalistic system. You know, unfortunately, there are people, greedy people, who will take advantage and, you know, use and abuse the people below them. You know, in any world, a political system can work to everyone's benefit, but unfortunately, I think capitalism is very, very easily manipulated by those in society who, you know, get power. And, you know, that's it's the same for any system, but it's the most easily manipulated. And although it may not have been an intent for that to be an allegory, that's what it felt like to me. And I know some people will roll their eyes and say, oh, Simon, Star Wars isn't political. It is political. It's always been political. It may not have been as political as I've interpreted it to be, but it's still there for the whole world to see and for those deductions to be made. And, you know, I don't think you can disagree with it because it's there on paper with real-life evidence. So, you know, I know people are constantly thinking that there is an agenda, but there isn't. It's just the fact of life. That's what it is. But you know, it was a good episode. It was by no means, you know, a record breaker. You know, it's not gonna win any awards, but it did what it needed to do. You know, it was a decent story of good versus bad. Again, kind of just expanding our universe a little bit. The thing that really impressed me in this episode was the music. The soundtrack really kind of added to, you know, the atmosphere. There was moments where the shots of the inner mine really felt kind of like Mustafar type, you know, a Mustafar type atmosphere, and you know the music kind of lent itself to that. And you know, at the very end there, when they were talking about, you know, how there's always people like the Bad Batch to help, I thought we were going to get, you know, elements of the rebellion theme, because you know that's essentially what they are becoming. They're becoming what the rebellion becomes later on. But like I say, decent episode. You know, if not a little bit predictable, it was decent. And again, that's what happens when you kind of go for these, you know, kind of simple stories that, you know, are still effective. But what I would like to see now is more of, you know, what's going on with Sid, what's going on with, you know, Crosshair, which I know it's not going to be for another episode at least. But I feel like now we are getting to that time in the season where things are going to start to ramp up. You know, we're going to start to move on to whatever it is they have set out for the end of the season here. You know, I'm getting a feeling it's the breakaway from Sid. I've got Zuko trying to eat biscuits down here, so bear with me. What are you doing? Say hello to the camera. Hey, say hello to the camera. No? You don't want that? Come on then. Good boy. Yeah, you know, again, he really wants those biscuits. Again, I'm not sure what they really have in store, whether they're going to have the Empire turn on the clones fully and Crosshair's going to, you know, leave and potentially rejoin the group. I don't know. I definitely think the group are going to leave Sid. But whether Sid's going to fully betray them or not is another question. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for the next episode.